Hey, Pretty Girl Club. Today I'm going to talk about how female friends are really just used as cheerleaders for men. We are used as unpaid psychologists. And I want to read to you this comment that I saw here on my YouTube channel. She says, "You are so wise, 100% accurate. After being betrayed over and over again by female friendships due to jealousy and punishment, how dare I attract so much attention from man? I tried man friendships. I have been used as a free cheerleader and psychologist. Yes, a lot of men, they love to use us as their free source of encouragement. They like to use female friends as a free source of validation. And like I said, you are his emotional dumpster. So however he's feeling emotionally that day, you're going to have to deal with it. If he's feeling sexual that day, you'll have to deal with his sexual advances. If he is feeling angry that day, you are going to hear him bitch and complain, and you are expected to listen to him. And have you ever noticed how when you're having a conversation with a guy, it's not usually a back and forth conversation. Usually it's just him talking and you listening. But this girl says, "I have been used as a free cheerleader and psychologist. The main reason I believe man came close to me is sexual attraction or as an attempt to copy my drive, find out what makes me confident, eat my essence basically." Yes. I was going to say a lot of male-female friendships are actually men almost socially spying on women. Have you ever noticed how a lot of guys who are quote-unquote incels, or just men in general, they want to befriend the pretty girl? Why is that? It's because they want to spy on you in a social setting. They want to see, okay, what is it that makes her confident? How does she talk to other people? What is her career like? What's her everyday like? How does she do her level up journey? And they're literally using this information so that they can siphon it off of you and take on your characteristics as their own characteristics. Like, I've talked on here about how I've had people copy my diet. So for example, I purposely try to have a diet that is healthy for my brain. I genuinely do believe that your diet contributes to your intelligence. I fully believe that. So I try to eat a very specific diet, and I have had people try to copy my diet, and this is not just women. I've had exes try to get close to me or try to date me because they're hoping that I will cook them those healthy meals and that I will give them all of these tips and tricks on how to be healthy. Have you ever noticed how a lot of men, they will seek out female friendships because they are literally trying to increase their physical health? It benefits their physical health to be around you. For example, I can think of another guy who was my friend at work, and he was curious about how I was able to stay in shape and stuff like that. And I told him, oh, I just go on walks on the job. Like during my lunch, I will go for a 30-minute walk, like if I have an hour-long lunch. So then this guy starts going on a walk during his lunch. So oftentimes guys who want to be your friend, especially if you are a beautiful, confident woman, you have positive qualities about yourself. And like I said, men are only seeking the quote-unquote top-tier women or women who they feel can connect them to top-tier women. They're only seeking them for friendships. I have never seen a man go out of his way to try to befriend the most outcasted, ugliest, most undesirable woman in the room. No, usually when men are thinking about making friendships, they want to specifically go for, okay, who's the hot girl? Who has the highest social status? Have you ever seen those guys where they specifically want to be friends with white girls? If he is a man of color, let's say he's a black man. Have you ever been around those black guys where they specifically want all of their female friends to be white girls because in their mind they have a subconscious belief that white girls are somehow like a higher form of status for him? Or, you know, the guys who want to specifically be around the pretty girls, it's because they want to approximate themselves to you. They want to use you to social climb. They want to be seen with you so that other men can pedestalize them, or they want to be seen with you so that other women can pedestalize them. I have literally had guys who will say that other guys talked to him after he was seen with me. Other guys would be like, oh wow, like, do you have money or something? Like, how did you get her to want to hang out with you? And so guys are using quote unquote female friendship, aka you are the one investing emotionally and he's actually not. So he gets to have free status, he gets a free ego boost, he gets a free cheerleader, an unpaid therapist, an unpaid psychologist. You're over here processing his emotions for him. You're over here being a good listener to him, so you're giving him free validation, you're building up his self-esteem, and he's not keeping that same energy with you. This whole Decentering Men series, it's really not supposed to be me shaming women or me shaming men, really. It's actually just supposed to be me telling women, keep the same energy. So if he's not investing emotionally in you and he just wants all of these benefits, no, stop doing that. keep the same energy that he's keeping. So if a guy is not investing in me, I'm not investing in him. But let's get back to this comment. She says that guys want to copy her drive, find out what makes her confident, eat my essence, basically. Yes, I have noticed that a lot of guys, they just want to get close to you so that they can basically figure out what about you, like what is it that makes you special. I have seen this happen so many times. Like I said, even guys in the workplace, they will find out that you have a very good calendar system, or, they will find out that you're really good at filing, you're really good at how you speak to people on the phone, and then this guy will start copying you. A lot of guys want to actually socially copy you. They will find a woman who is leveled up and they will try to copy you in a social setting. Like they will try to take on as many of your qualities as possible. Like, I'm not kidding. I've literally had guy friends who, once they started hanging out with me, they started shopping at Whole Foods. They started trying to shop at all of these healthy stores, and they were using it as a tool, not just to increase their physical health, but also to increase their social status and try to have access to the type of women that would be shopping in Whole Foods. So men will literally become friends with the pretty girl so they can spy on you and say, okay, hey, what do pretty girls do? Where do pretty girls hang out? What are pretty girls' interests? Like, how can I manipulate my way into getting more girls like this one? So oftentimes when men are befriending you, they're doing it so that they can try to learn how to manipulate you or learn how to manipulate your type. So he will be practicing his manipulation tactics on you. He will be practicing his emotional manipulation on you. He'll be practicing his pickup lines on you and stuff like that. And he is gauging how you respond. And it's a low stakes situation for him because you're just friends anyway. So it's not like he had to take you on a date. It's not like he had to pay for anything for you. He's not paying your bills. He's not over here helping build you up. But this girl also said they want to eat my essence and basically at the same time conquer me to feel powerful. They used me to virtue signal, to enter different social circles, and as a flex to attract the woman they really desire. Exactly. A lot of men will approximate themselves to you so that they can then attract more women who are just like you. Like, I remember one time there was this guy in college. He was one of my friends, and he was very attracted to tall MLS women. That was his type. It was tall MLS women. So I remember he always wanted to be seen with me, specifically when we were like at football games in the college, or like, when we were around a lot of people. And then I later found out that he had this specific type of woman that he was trying to attract to sleep with him. And so since I was being seen with him as the quote-unquote pretty popular girl, the girls who were jealous of me, or the girls who were pick-me's who also happened to have my same phenotype, those girls would then go and sleep with this guy. So he was literally opening the door to get more women to sleep with him just by him being seen with me in public. It was literally raising his status that much to the point where other girls who were not as leveled up as me, they wanted to feel more attractive or more powerful. And so they wanted to now all of a sudden sleep with him because he was simply being seen with a girl who is considered like socially leveled up. So he literally social climbed, and he was able to gain access to more women of his exact type by simply associating with me. So a lot of women don't realize how powerful your presence actually is. But let's continue with this comment. She said, "It is like I am a free upgrading program they got just because." Exactly. Men will use you to upgrade their lifestyles, and you don't even have to be in a romantic relationship with a man for this to happen. Simply being friends with a man can cause him to upgrade his life. Because think about it, what are you really doing? Like for the ladies who are friends with men, what are you actually doing? Like, what do you talk about? It's probably either you are encouraging him, you are being his free listening ear, so you're validating him, you are his free advice person, you are the therapist, the person that he can bounce ideas off of, you are his free unpaid psychologist, most likely, or you are doing domestic duties for him. So coming over to his house on the weekends, helping him to remodel his house, helping him to plant his garden, helping him to organize his cabinets and organize the seasonings. And you're basically grooming him and leveling him up, and you're upgrading him so that he can appeal to more women, or so that he can get a woman who he thinks is better than you, and a woman who he actually wants to invest money and time into. And then whenever he's done with you, he drops you. And by the way, I'm not saying that like I've never been in this position myself before, because I think that all of us have probably been in this position. But seriously, what value does a guy offer to you as a friend? Because most of the time, guys aren't even good friends with other guys. I've seen the way that men have treated other men that they call their best friends. A lot of men, they nag their friends. So like they will put down their guy friends. They will compete with their guy friends. So why would I want a man in my life who is a friend who is going to put me down and want to compete with me? Another thing I've noticed is that some guys will try to be your friend specifically so they can humble you. I have seen it on Reddit. I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen guys commenting saying, oh, I'm going to try to level myself up so that I can get in the same social circles as pretty women. And I'm going to do that specifically so that I can trash them. And so I can treat them like how they treated me when I was younger. So a lot of guys have this revenge fantasy in their heads. And so they will specifically befriend you so that they can start chipping away at your confidence, because it makes him feel more powerful to know that he has the ability to make you feel bad. It makes him feel more powerful to know that out of all the guys complimenting you, that he's the one guy who's not complimenting you. It makes him feel powerful to know that he's the one guy who's humbling you. He's the one guy who is making fun of your hair being messed up, or he's making fun of your weight. He's making fun of your acne. He's calling out body hair if you have any body hair on your arms or legs or whatever. He feels good and he feels powerful when he gets to knock down the homecoming queen, when he gets to knock down the pretty girl in the office. So oftentimes men will seek out friendships with women specifically so they can do this, or they will just be your friend and they just can't help it because their inferiority complex just comes out and they just can't help but to put you down. A lot of times when men pursue friendships with you, it's not because they genuinely care about who you are as a human being and they want the best for you. And, he's going to be over here reading all of these mental health books. Like, I was in a position, literally, because you guys know that I'm passionate about psychology and sociology. So I used to attract a lot of men as friends who were trying to trauma dump on me and stuff. So I would be over here telling them like, hey, you have symptoms of bipolar. Hey, you have symptoms of PTSD. Hey, just so you know, you probably have anxiety. You may want to go get that checked out. So I was acting as literally almost like a medical assistant, or acting as like a nurse in a mental health facility, giving these guys free tips, telling them, hey, you have symptoms of XYZ. I even remember one time, well, actually multiple times, I've had men who will try to ask me questions about, oh, how do you do your workouts? Like, what healthy foods should I eat? Hey, can you take a look at this bump that's like inside of my mouth? Or like, hey, my teeth are looking kind of messed up. Like, you have really pretty teeth. Can you tell me what's wrong with this? So they'll be over here asking for health tips, using me as their free Google search engine because they don't want to put in the effort. They don't want to do a simple Google search. They don't want to research their own symptoms and figure out what's going wrong. So they would rather have a woman do it. Have you ever noticed that a lot of men who are successful are only successful because they have had women doing the grunt work behind the scenes? They've had women who are organizing their schedules. The women are the ones who are making sure he looks good and professional and powerful with his suit on. The women are the ones making sure that his haircut and everything is all nice and his beard is perfectly lined up and all of that. And the women are the ones who are helping to teach him the social skills that are required to succeed in business. So oftentimes men actually do see how they can social climb with you. And someone else on here said that men also can use dating apps so that they can get emotional orbiters. And I agree with that 100%. A lot of guys will use dating apps. They won't ask you on a date, of course. They just want to take up your time. They want to take up your time for free. So they're not even paying to buy you a dinner or anything like that. Nope, they just want you to sit there and listen to them. This is why when I was on dating apps, I would actually block a guy if he did not ask me out on a specific date, like within the first 6 messages. If I do not get asked out, I'm blocking you because I don't have time to waste. I'm not giving away free validation, because in the guy's mind, the way he sees it in terms of dating apps is, okay, she swiped on me, so she finds me attractive. Let me put all of these girls in my emotional orbit who find me attractive. That's even more of an ego boost for the average guy, because he's like, oh, cool. I've got like 5 girls who are my cheerleaders, basically. They are my personal emotional cheerleaders. So they're just in my phone texting me, good morning, good evening, Merry Christmas, Happy Easter, Happy Valentine's Day. Do you have any plans? How are your kids? I heard you were sick. Are you feeling better? You should go get some ginger tea. You should get some lemon tea. You know what? Why don't I bring soup over to your apartment? Because I live down the street from you anyway. That's what friends are for. So you're over here giving this guy a whole entire social life. You're giving him an emotional safe space that, in my opinion, he really doesn't deserve, because he didn't even invest in you whatsoever. So all you're doing is you are teaching him that he does not have to invest anything whatsoever in order to get your free time, energy, attention, and emotions. Sometimes it feels like guys cannot help but to use a woman's labor in order to succeed. Like, even if a guy, he doesn't even want to use his own mental energy, if he doesn't want to use his own mind to figure out how to solve his life's problems, he will then text his female friend so that she can use her mind to figure out how to solve his life's problem. So a lot of guys will use women and they will complain to us. They'll say, hey, I'm having problems with my baby mama. Hey, my business is failing. My business is like going down to the ground. I'm in debt. I'm late on my car payment. My house is in foreclosure. So they will use it as an opportunity to complain to you in hopes that you will give him the solution, in hopes that you will use your emotional intelligence and your social intelligence and your business connections to help get him out of the ditch that he already dug for himself. And then you get nothing in return. All you get in return is you get more of your time wasted, you get more of your emotions wasted, you are going to spend your time thinking about him, caring about him, hoping he's okay, even if you're just friends, and then when he's done with you, or when he feels like he can replace you with another girl in his orbit, then he's going to replace you. And a lot of guys will do this with as many women as possible. This is very prevalent in colleges, this is very prevalent in high schools, and this is also prevalent in the workplace. I've seen guys at jobs where they will try to befriend every woman in the office so that he has somebody to eat lunch with him every single day. I've even seen some women who will make lunch for a guy in the office that is her quote-unquote friend. So this guy, he's getting free lunches. He can just put in a request, basically. So he has a free restaurant. He doesn't have to pay for lunch. He doesn't have to meal prep because Karen in the office is over there meal prepping for him, just bringing in his lunch. I've also had male friends where they will ask me for styling tips. They will start asking like, hey, what colors look good on my skin tone? What shape, like what shirt style looks good on my body type? What is my body type? Am I an endomorph? Am I a mesomorph? Am I an ectomorph? Like, I've literally had guys around me that they will use the women around them as their professional fashion stylists. They will ask women like, hey, what kind of beard shape looks good on me? And then you'll tell him, oh, you look really good with a goatee. And then he's going to get his goatee on point so that he can go to a bar and get the girl that he actually wants to invest money in. And so he literally used your fashion and styling tips so that he can attract other women. Have you ever noticed that? Guys will ask their female friends like, hey, how can I look better so that I can attract other women, basically. He's not asking you how he can look better for you. He's asking you how he can look better for some other woman that he's actually investing time and energy and money into. And also, let's just think about this logically here. A lot of guys don't even make good friends. Like, a lot of male friends, they're not loyal. So for example, let's say you have a male friend at work and you are in a beef with some Karen at your job. She is falsely reporting you, she's bullying you, she's being really disrespectful to you, she's making you cry at work and stuff. Your male friends at the job, they're not going to say anything to that Karen. They're not going to protect you. They're not going to like try to make sure that you are emotionally safe. So a lot of times when push comes to shove with male friends, they don't even show up for you when it counts the most. They just want you to show up for them in their daily lives. They want to not invest money in you, not have to take you out on a date, not have any emotional attachment to you whatsoever, and they just want you to be blowing up their phone so that they feel important. He wants you to come visit his cubicle so that he feels like the big man in the office. He wants you to visit his cubicle so that the other girl down the hall that he really wants to invest money in, he wants her to see him with you so he can triangulate you. I've talked about this a lot. Most men use their female friendships so that they can triangulate. They use their friendships with women so that they can make themselves look more desirable. They use friendships with women so that they can triangulate their girlfriends or their wives, or so they can like triangulate you and say, oh yeah, well, you know, I can't hang out with you today because Tasha, she wants to hang out with me today at lunch, or so-and-so other woman wants to hang out with me today. So he's basically trying to use it as a flex to make himself look more desirable in hopes that women will compete harder for his attention. Another thing that I've noticed when it comes to triangulation is men will start gradually pulling back from you as a friend. He will start pulling back and playing these emotional manipulation games because a lot of these guys who look for emotional orbiters, they're the types of guys who are watching like red pill content and stuff. So they are learning how to manipulate, how to be a pimp and all that kind of crap. And so they will start pulling back from you emotionally at some point. And then you, as the woman, you're going to be like, hey, is everything okay? Like, I haven't heard from you in a while. Like, what's wrong? Like, you disappeared. I just wanted to check on you. And he is over here thinking, yes, my plan worked. Yes, my manipulation worked. Or he may even respond and say, oh, sorry, I was too busy with Sarah, my other friend, and she's investing a lot more time in me. She's more available to talk whenever I want to. And that's a damn lie. That could be a lie that he's just making up so that you can spend more time with him, more free time. So you're wasting your time on your level up journey that you could be on. You are basically leveling down, getting further away from your personal goals so that you can act as his free, unpaid psychologist and help process his emotions for him, or just give him free validation and free attention and just give him the ego boost that he needs to actually level up and go after what he really wants in life. So you're sitting over here making him feel powerful, making him feel so important, and then in return, he is going to eventually emotionally distance himself from you. Once he sees that you are not giving him what he wants, a lot of guys will seek after female friendships so they can receive a lot of the benefits, such as free compliments on a daily basis. And I've seen this happen a lot in the workplace where the women who are kind of the pick-me's and stuff, they'll be like, oh, Scott, look at your hair. It's so handsome. Oh, look at your tie. Oh, that's such a nice color on you. Oh, wow, Scott, did you lose weight? I heard that you did that Tough Mudder run the other weekend. Yeah, wow, you look so great. So a lot of guys, they are receiving free compliments. They are receiving free validation, free attention. In most cases, they are also receiving birthday gifts, Christmas gifts. I mean, these guys are literally being treated like how a boyfriend or a husband would get treated. So that is why a lot of men specifically will seek out not male friendships with other men. No, they don't care about going to a men's group. So I actually saw this thing where they were talking about how they need to create men's only gyms so that men don't get kicked out for like being creepers and stuff. That would never sell. That's not going to sell to have a men's only gym. You know why? Because men need women to feel important. So if there was a gym where there are just all guys in it, that's not going to be as popular as a co-ed gym because most men know that they have no power unless they are in a co-ed space. Why do they have power in a co-ed space? Well, it's because they're seeking female friendships. They're seeking these friendships where he doesn't have to invest. Him not investing emotionally, that is what makes him feel powerful. And so now that we as women have that intel, now we can keep the same energy. It makes these guys feel powerful to know that he hasn't texted you first ever, and that you're just texting him first every single morning. You're texting him once a week. You're saying, happy Friday. Oh, it's Monday. Are you tired today? I'm tired. How was your weekend? What did you do this weekend? So you as the woman, you're over here coming up with conversation topics. You're over here thinking about the last conversation you had with him and trying to build upon that conversation. You're over here processing his emotions for him, bringing him lunch to work or bringing him snacks like, oh, hey, I know you said you have high cholesterol and high blood pressure. So this is a healthy snack that I always eat, so I just brought some for you. So you're over here managing his health, acting as his personal nurse, and receiving nothing in return. And another one of you guys commented and said that in terms of dating apps, a lot of guys they won't ask you on a date and they'll just want to talk to you. And oftentimes they will want to send you pictures or they want you to send him pictures so that they can store it in their phone. Yes, I've seen lots of guys do that. They'll be like, oh yeah, these are my female friends. Yeah, I have one light-skinned friend, one dark-skinned friend, one white girl that's my friend. Oh, I'm friends with that Spanish chick. Oh yeah, that MILF over there, yeah, she's my friend. She was just in my phone last night. So they will ask you to send them pictures so that they can store them in their phone and either jack off to them or they can just have a whole Rolodex of women in their phone, like pictures of the women who are their friends, and then they get to tell their guy friends, oh yeah, she sent me this picture of her. This is what she looks like in a bikini. Yeah, this is her working out. She sends me pictures every single day. I'm not kidding. There are literally women out there who are friends with guys and they're sending these guys pictures every day. And it may not even be an inappropriate picture. It may just be a picture of her working out or a picture of, whatever's going on. But that makes that guy feel important. It makes the guy have an ego boost. And a lot of these guys are putting you in their phone. They have your photos all in there. And then it's it's making him feel more desirable because he feels like, oh, look at all of these women who are in my phone. Look at all of these. I got 25 women to send me pictures of themselves. Like, these are all of my friends. All of my friends are baddies. And then these guys will use this as like a delusional ego boost. And then when they meet a new woman who maybe he wants to date, or maybe he wants her to be a part of his female orbit, his emotional orbit, then he will tell that girl, oh yeah, all of my friends, they're all skinny. Oh, you're a little bit thick. I don't know if I can be friends with you. Like, this is how these quote unquote players are created. It's because they have spent time observing women and interacting with women on a friendship basis because women are giving them free time, energy, attention, sending pictures for free, hanging out with him for free. He's not even taking you out. He's not even treating you special or anything. Oftentimes he will be over there nagging you and trying to humble you. But this is how guys learn quote unquote game, because they have practice ground. They have training ground. So oftentimes men will use their female friends as their sexual training ground, or they will use you as their emotional training ground, or they will just use you for your utility. So if you are good at cooking, they will make sure to utilize that skill. If you are good at sewing, if he gets a button messed up on his shirt at work and then he needs someone to fix it, he might ask you to fix it. Or if you're good at knitting or something, or if you're really good with like a particular skill like organizing, he may ask you to do some of his work tasks. So I've seen this happen all the time. But what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.